we're going to be talking about media monitoring measuring tools. And with any new toy, I think sometimes we see the shiny object and we're like, oh, we need that, right? So before we get into what the new tools are, I thought it'd be good to kind of go into why we need these new tools. So right off the bat, I'm going to ask for some audience participation here. Can I get a show of hands? If you have PR or public relations in your title, raise your hand. Look around the room, it's about half. Okay? If you have marketing in your title, raise your hand. About half. Exactly what I thought. So, as you can see, we're at a PR and social media event, and it's a combination PR, marketing, social media. We're all converged now. So, let's talk about what that convergence actually means. So, just to wrap it up here, the key takeaways. So, know your goals first. Know your objectives. You need to know what you're going to measure first. Iterate and do A/B testing to find out what's working and what's not. Constantly measure it. Focus on those profit center metrics. And don't lose sight of those. You can still worry about branding and things like that, but at the end of the day, it's really about profit center metrics. And it's all about insights and really make Google Analytics your BFF.
Good morning. At homes.com and forrent.com, for those of you that may not be familiar with them, we provide real estate marketing and advertising and media solutions to real estate professionals. And then on the consumer-facing side, we help them discover a place to live. And so back in 2006, I started social media with the organization, and I was a one-man shop. And it was just me and myself, and I was doing traditional marketing, SEO, SEM, social, and all of that. I dug into our analytics, and I found that I was having a tremendous amount of success with MySpace. This is back in the day when MySpace was really popular. And it was through analytics that I was able to present that to the C-suite to go from a team of one to a team of many. So where we are today is we've got an entire organization now, a social media department, where we went from what started with myself, then grew to an intern, now grew to a full team. And not only are we doing social media on behalf of our brands, but we're extending that out and reselling it to our clients. So we've got a brand side as well as a client services side. And we weren't able to do this without showcasing the value and the return of social media. And then lastly, with some key takeaways, just wrapping up, those are some quick formulas. I've got a bunch more formulas that we use, and as well as it's a hybrid of using your internal staff as well as reaching out to partners in the industry that specialize in these metrics. But it's a way for you to really break that down to the C-suite to help them better understand how it's so important and how social media really can make an impact on the bottom line. So first off, taking an assessment, a pulse check of what your social media marketing efforts are today and evaluating the cost the time that you have to devote to those specific assets, whether it's your Facebook or your Pinterest or your Tumblr or whatever accounts that you have, taking a look at how much time you can actually devote to that. Then diving into your strategy, mapping out all of your social media, your plans by scope, goals, and your objectives, how much budget you have to put up against those objectives, and then identifying your key influencers. Those influencers also become an extension to your marketing department and help shave down that cost. And then comes the pitch. The pitch is very important. It took me 3 years to convince my C-suite to allow me to run an agency inside of our organization to resell social media. So it was a lot of pitching and a lot of persistence. And you need to present those top ideas and clear metrics to the management so that they understand very clear what you want to do. Then comes the implementation part where you execute the plan. And you take a look at those objectives and how you can formally execute that. And then after you've implemented everything, it's time to review. You can analyze the activity, look at the ROI. If it's not the ROI that your C-suite is looking for, how can you adjust those formulas or adjust the way that you're pitching and presenting the information to them? And then lastly, looking at optimization, how you can continue to test, tweak, and refine. It's all about A/B testing, and it's okay if you do have some failures. And lastly, remember to always have fun with it.
I think you've heard a tremendous amount of valuable information from both Brandon and Erica. And so what I'm here to do is to sort of flush out at the very end of all of the information they gave you, how you can sort of use a filter to look at what tools, because let's be honest, I think if we tried to take account, there's probably 100 plus new tools that come out every month. So what are you to make of that? And then on the flip side, how do you, because we all as communicators at the end of the day, we need to share what we're doing. We need to promote, broadcast, advocate, as Erica did in her own C-suite, what the work we're doing, and share that to empower the rest of our team so they can do their jobs better. But the other side of the coin, so now you have the tools, you have the formulas, and you have the strategy. How do you share it? I think one of the most common things that I hear about when I talk with my peers across sectors is, I have all this great data. I have months and months of data from maybe a year-long campaign. I don't have the resources to turn it into something that I can share. Not let alone with my sector, with my colleagues and my team, so they can do their job better. I may anecdotally share something, or there may be an email, but that synthesis, that rigor that comes with it, it's hard, it's tough, and I want to acknowledge that. So some quick tips that have helped us and my team work in terms of reporting out. What are your goals? So I think Brandon touched upon this early, but if you set out on that to complement what he said, I actually think one of the more important reasons is because you don't want to get stuck behind the 8 ball after the program or the campaign starts. Not that you're, out of luck, but it's so much easier if you kind of have set expectations. We're going to monitor for X, Y, and Z, and therefore I go in knowing it. And hey, if things change, that's okay, but everybody was on board with the X, Y, and Z to begin with, so something to think through there. The cut and paste, this is my secret weapon. I ask my team to track X, Y, and Z. Maybe it's twice a day, maybe it's 3 times a week, whatever it is. I get the emails. My boss and my boss's boss and our CEO, they don't have to see every email that comes through. They don't need to see it. They might want to. It might be appropriate, but in most cases it's not. So I synthesize that, and then I cut and paste. I sort of take, okay, my partners probably need to see point 1, 5, and 6. My boss probably needs to see 3, 7, and 8, and so on and so forth. And then once you go back to do your cumulative report, it's all there. Really quickly, again, tell your whole story. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten great feedback. So this is anecdotal, but it's positive, and I hope this helps you. Numbers, we're talking about tech trends and measurement, but so often part of the story is in how you got those numbers and the story behind what happened. So don't discount that, please. Similarly, I can't tell you how much people love photos in reports, just like we're all consumers at heart. Screen grabs, photos, all that. A picture's worth 1,000 words, literally, in that situation.